Well, hello everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? A very, very long time, but at least we can get out fishing now. You join me, and this is the first vlog in a series of vlogs for the next year on this very, very lovely and big reservoir. 66 acres. Some very nice fishing here. It's not an easy lake at all. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but we'll work at it and see what we can get out of it. So yeah, it's looking lovely so far. There was a few people on earlier, there's not anymore. I think it's just as far as I can see without getting my feet soaking wet. I think it might just be me. Oh no, there's one other person to my left, but because of COVID and all the restrictions and whatnot, there has to be spaces in between swims and that, so you do have a lot of space. I've got a lot of open water out in front of me. I'm wading out to cast to that little marker just there, and I can access the middle of the lake quite easily. Didn't find too many features. It's quite silty, so what I've done is I've put quite a bit of bait out, and I'm using the bait as the feature to see if anything coming up the middle channel comes across, and see if we can nick a bite. There's some crayfish in here, so I've had to wrap up the hook baits in the armor wrap or whatever it's called. If you used it before, you know what it is. It's like a plastic mesh. I'm not keen on the shrink wrap stuff, so the fox mesh is what I'll be using. Yeah, we've got some Atlantic heat out there, see if that can get me a bite. So yeah, fingers crossed, we'll see what happens, but it's good to be back, good to be back in the mix, good to be fishing. Yeah, happy days, so see what we can do. Bear, you're a good boy. Say hello to everyone. Silent treatment, fair enough. I bet you're a lot of thinking, look at this anchor. How carpy is that? Well, he is not my friend. He was out in the water, probably here, and I nearly tripped over the thing. I was wondering, what the heck is that? I thought, you know what, I'm just going to shove my arm in the water and pick it up, whatever it is, and move it. Yeah, and it was that. What do you reckon, guys? Take it home as a souvenir? Oh, I'm kidding. I'll phone a bailiff and let him know. Don't know if anyone will claim it or whatever. It looks pretty old, to be fair. Obviously, where I am right now, the water is usually here, and there's a deck board behind me, which I'll show you a bit later. This is where you'd usually fish from, but the water level's down. But yeah, I'm guessing it's probably from one of these guys over here. There's a sailing club. But so far I'm loving this place. It's nothing like I've ever fished before. It's so open to the elements. Obviously we've got trees surrounding it, but it's still, like, in terms of hitting the wind and stuff like that, it's really open to it. So I don't know whether the carp are going to be really in tune with the elements, or I've had a few people and even the bailiffs say that if you think they're going to follow the wind half the time, they're not. So I think I'm going to do what I did with Raisbury, throw the rule book out the window and just fish every session as it comes. Maybe try and build up a swim, see how we go in this one. Try and build it up, get the bait going in, keep hitting the same area, because 66 acres, the last thing I want to be doing is wasting time chasing them around for them to just move anyway. I don't know how cute the fish are, don't know how riggy they are, so it's all gonna basically start from scratch and see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. What do you reckon, Bear? Can you see any fish? Bear, can you see any? It's usually more chatty than this. Look at that though, guys. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Fingers crossed for a fish, eh? Alright, just a little update whilst I'm walking Bear back and forth. Well, more like an insight. Where I'm walking now, where I'm basically fishing, is where the water should be. I can see little holes where the naturals are, maybe bloodworm or whatever digs into these tiny little holes, mussel shells, all sorts. What's kicking off over there? Don't know if you can hear that. Sirens galore. And that's another thing, no aeroplanes. Mint. It's peaceful other than yeah, whatever's going on down there. Maybe a car crash or something. So yeah, I'm going to have to get my thinking cap on and maybe try to imitate some of the naturals in here. Get some of those rubber bloodworms and maybe do like a little pop-up Medusa rig or something like that. Because at the same time I've got a battle against the craze and also the size of this place. I've been scouting the water. I haven't seen a single show, but if you've watched any of my previous vlogs, when I'm using oils in the baits, it's a perfect addition to your armoury, so you can see if there's fish on the spot. And a few times it's slicked up now, so I mean it could be the craze, but what I found with craze, or lakes with craze in it, when you're using oils, there's tiny little patches, and then the bigger patches and the bigger slicks are what the carp are creating. So I'm hoping there's been, I mean obviously there's other fish in there as well, so something's been feeding on the spot, but I have put a fair bit of bait out, so I'm not expecting a bite. If I'm honest, first session I'm not expecting a bite anyway, and also with the size of this place. So yeah, we're going to work at it, guys, and try and put the pieces to this puzzle together. But there's some absolute stunners in here, and I'd be so happy to have one of them. I'm not fussed how long it takes. I'm already prepared to blank for quite a while before getting amongst them. But yeah, it's something else. Even the smell of the place, it doesn't even smell like a lake. It's got like a ocean sort of salty smell in the air. It's mental, so peaceful. Much better than the typical circuit waters. Don't get me wrong, Raisbury's an absolutely lovely place and cracking fish in there. Even the stockies are just mint. But the aeroplanes going over, it does get quite busy. I mean, this place, I can't imagine it getting too busy. Plus it's quite large, so I mean it's nearly double the size of Raisbury. Well, actually no, it wouldn't be double. It's a good 25-26 acres bigger than Raisbury, so there's a lot of room. Yeah, don't know if you can tell, but I absolutely love this place so far. I haven't even done a night yet. Mint. Just hoping, I mean I'm scanning back and forth, round the corner there, it goes round, oh sorry, round this way, and then there's a back bay. It's like an out of bounds. I'm wondering whether fish may be tucked up in there. And then there's another bit just around here. What I'll do after this little waffling that I'm doing, I'll put a map of the lake so you guys can sort of see it. And yeah, you can sort of judge with me as if you were here as well. It's quite a nice shaped lake, to be fair. We'll see what happens. I'm going to stop waffling on now. We'll catch you guys in a bit. Right, little update, guys. I've moved the left rod even further to the left and brung it a bit closer. I've seen fish sort of scout in that area, so it's worthwhile having a rod there and a little bit of bait. Still got the two straight out in front of me, about 30 wraps after wading out probably 20 yards, so I'm probably fishing now probably 140, 150 yards. Just bang on in the middle of the lake, so if anything goes along that middle channel, fingers crossed you'll pick something up. So I've redone all the rods anyway, and all of the rods came in absolutely covered in bloodworms, so there's a lot of it in this lake, and whether it's spread out the whole lake or not, I'm not sure. So it's just a case of probably finding the fish's favourite areas. I can't imagine the whole lake being completely rich with bloodworm. It's possible, but they will have their specific areas. But I have seen some movement, so it's boosted the confidence a little bit more. It's just a case of fish coming across the rig and having a little mooch. The left rod that I've moved is in a bit deeper as well, so see if the depth makes a difference. But as always, we'll keep you updated if anything happens, and we'll see you soon. Not sure if you guys can see it. Oh bloody hell. That's the first aeroplane that's gone over since I've been here. We've got a little bit of slicking up over here. Hopefully that's some carp having a munch. Fingers crossed. That's where the left rod is anyway. And then the middle and the right straight out all the way over there. And that's my little casting marker. I'll be absolutely buzzing if I get amongst some fish, or even have a bite. This is not going to be an easy lake, but you can see how barren it is of water compared to what it usually is. Usually would go, yeah, I said I'll show you. Usually would go all the way, and then you'd be fishing off the boards. So all of this would be submerged. Crazy. So whether it's had an effect on the fish themselves, I don't know. I could imagine it has. I mean, they're probably used to. I mean, if you have a look, you've got all these bits and bobs, all these like swan mussels and that. It's just a home of all this like dead weed and stuff. It's just a home for so many naturals. And obviously you've got all the bushes that they can crawl and swim under and have a little munch. So I can't imagine they're too happy about it being drained as much, but it is what it is. But so far I'm enjoying just being here. It's quite a nice place. It's quite quiet. I've had a few people coming up right behind me, sort of either on their phones and stuff like that, which is quite annoying to be fair, because it's all signed saying anglers only past this point. And obviously I've got my dog here. I don't really fancy people walking behind and stuff like that. It's a bit annoying, especially when I'm out here putting some bait out and then the dog's trying to sort of, well, bear's being bear and he's trying to defend the area. It's quite it's not an aggressive dog, he's just very defensive and protective. He doesn't like people that he doesn't know coming too close, and then the people that have walked past the sign that clearly says not to go past if you're not an angler, they've just stood there sort of looking like I'm in the wrong. Muppets. Lovely, lovely lake. Depending on how we get on this session, in this swim, is dependent whether we're gonna next week bait up and fish a different area. We'll see how it goes. Right, we'll update you guys in a bit. What guys, I forgot to show you. I got some new bobbins. They're the new direction, like spring loading ones. If I'm honest, they're bloody naff. I'm gonna get some different ones. They're a nightmare. They when the line goes up, they lift up on a spring. Obviously, the name suggests. And then they're not that great. They look cool. Don't get me wrong. They really do look cool, but not keen on them at all. Just gonna get some different ones. I might just get like a pair, or a load of those stows, the quarter ones. I quite like those. But yeah. So if you're gonna get those, don't bother. They're naff. No, each to their own. You might like them, but just the usability of them. They're just, as they are now. If I get a drop back, they're not going to really move from that position. If that water went there and I didn't have my trainers on, I'd show you, but take my word for it, they're not great. Come on, fishies. Right, see you in a bit. Right guys, whilst we got the time, I might as well make the announcement now. If you guessed it already, well done, 10 points to you. I'm now part of Team Carp Couture. I'll be helping out with the UK team, also some of the European team, just management. I'll also be helping out with the social media side of things, as well as being part of the team as well, and doing my own content for them. So yeah, got some of the clothing, I've got some of the maroon red ones as well. As you know, I was wearing a red t-shirt already. This gear is amazing. This range is available at the moment, but it won't be forever because there's a new, improved and a different range coming out, which you guys are going to absolutely love. It's going to be mint. Don't get me wrong, this stuff's brilliant, but this stuff is like next level, honestly. So yeah, check out all the socials. If you haven't heard of Carp Couture before, where you been? Honestly, I'm joking. If you haven't heard of them, go check out the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check out the website as well. You'll find all the details you need to on there. You'll see the range on the website. You'll see some photos of the range on the Facebook page as well. It's recently been purchased by new owners, hence why I've come on board as well. And just think of it as a brand, like a new company. Like, yeah, the name's been out there for a while, but just think of it as a fresh new start, honestly. Really, really nice people, level-headed. I get along with them. Just top geezers and top ideas, top team. And I'm looking forward to the future. So yeah, that's that announcement out of the way. So what have I been up to for the past, crikey, when's the last time I did a vlog? I'd say probably about 8 months now. It's been a while, obviously with this lockdown and everything like that. Excuse me, sweating a bit. I'll take this hoodie off in a minute. Yeah, with this lockdown, it's been, must be going 8 months now since I did my last vlog, and that was on Raspberry. So yeah, I've been up to a lot in that period of time. Moved house a few times. Been really trying to behave myself and lose some weight as well. Hopefully you guys maybe noticed that a little bit. Yeah, just trying to get healthy, stop eating all the crap. Don't get me wrong, I've got some crap with me today, but I'm doing better. So I've been, well, it's hard to say I've been up to a lot because, as most of us, I haven't. I started a gaming channel. If any of you are into gaming, I started that up with my mates. It's called Don Dapper's Gaming. So go check that out if you like your Warzone, Call of Duty and all that sort of thing. Other than that, I've been trying to do a little bit of valeting. It's just keeping busy. It's just been crazy. Like, it's been such a surreal, crazy time for all of us. Just like when I go on social media, just see this just utter madness going on in the world at the minute, and that's why I'm so glad we can get back to fishing, because we can all escape from it. And us carp fishermen, we're all pretty much alike, and if I'm feeling the way I am about the world and social media and all the nonsense going on, you lot are the same. So fingers crossed all this coronavirus sort of gets out of the way soon, and life can go back to fully being normal, whatever normal may be for us all after this anyway. Yeah, it's just leaves me speechless, and that's saying something. I'm usually like waffling on like crazy. It's probably some of you now sitting there thinking, yeah, you're waffling on right now. But yeah, it's just been an absolute crazy time. Like, you just want to go out and just do your normal daily thing, and you just can't. I mean, that's probably why I've lost some weight. McDonald's and that have been shut, but now they're open. Fat James might make a comeback. I'm playing. And yeah, we'll stop boring you with all that nonsense. If you do have any questions about anything in particular, what I've been up to or whatever, or even the gaming, or just anything in general in terms of fishing, drop a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Or if you've got me on social media, just drop me a message on there. It's probably quicker in terms of replies and responses, so on and so forth. On the fishing front, still scanning the water like crazy. I haven't seen anything. Literally haven't seen anything. And obviously this place is so big, I don't know if I've missed anything, but I've sort of kept going left to right. Haven't seen a thing, so who knows, they might be more nighttime showing fish. There's been a lot of public, general public, whatever, walking around. So that's another reason why I sort of aimed for the middle of the lake, because maybe they're just sort of condensed into the sort of middle part. The middle part, don't get me wrong, it's quite big. I'm only covering not even a quarter of it. So yeah, maybe they're more active at night time, early morning. It's been quite warm today as well, so they might be preparing for the weather coming, because obviously it's going to be thunderstorms and that tomorrow. What are you doing, bear? Huh? You growling at? No one. Fair enough. Yeah, the weather tomorrow is going to be pretty windy and hectic. Go away, mosquito. See that, caught him with a quick backhand. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my rod tips, to be fair, because I don't really want the wind flapping them about like crazy. But I have to have them quite high, because there's probably about 2-3 rod lengths of just floating scummy weed or whatever it is, and I have to obviously have the lines away from that. But we'll see what happens as it goes. We'll leave you guys in peace, and if we come back to you with a fish, we're going to be buzzing off our nuts, honestly. But chances are it's more going to be me waffling again. What's the matter, bear? Stroppy bugger. So yeah, we'll catch you guys in a bit. Oh, we've got a nice little bit of rain. Hopefully the pressure's dropping a little bit, and fingers crossed it will get some fish on the move. Let's see what happens. Right guys, it's now 7 o'clock. Just put a little bit more bait out, about 7-8 spoms worth on the long range spot in front of me, and only 3 to the shorter range left hand rod, because there hasn't been much bird activity on that spot anyway, whereas in front there has. So we're going to cook some food. I've got red Leicester pork sausages or maple barbecue pork belly, so I'm going to make that. You guys choose and decide which one that you think I'm going to have, and then the winner gets absolutely nothing. I'm playing. I'm going to have the pork belly. Save the sausages for last, they look banging. Yeah, still haven't seen anything in terms of movement other than what I've reported already. Just a little bit, like close in. Since then, nothing. So it's going to be another late night scanning the water, seeing what I can see and seeing what I can find out, and try and learn as best as I can with every little bit of movement or whatever I see. If not, it's just going to be a case of returning to the same areas, keep the bait going in, and hopefully they'll visit it. It's a big bit of water, even though it's been drained down a bit. There's still a lot for them to travel around and sort of hang about in, so we'll see what happens. Let's get some food, and fingers crossed we'll come back to you with a big old carp. Well, it's certainly looking mega moody. I have a feeling I'm gonna get wet in a minute. Still haven't seen anything. I think this is going to be the trend for the series of vlogs on here. All you're going to hear me saying is, yep, haven't seen anything, haven't caught anything. Is there any fish in here? Oh, here comes the rain. Right, that's my cue, guys. If you don't see me with a fish or any update until the morning, pray for James, hashtag let's get a carp, all that jazz, Mr. Carp Gods and all sorts. Give me some luck. I'll see you guys in the morning. Yep, definitely glad I got in a bivvy. But you know what? I kind of like this weather. I don't know if you guys are the same, but for me, nothing beats the noise of the rain hitting the bivvy and just looking out and watching the rain. I think there's going to be a storm tonight and like a bit through tomorrow as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I get some footage. But yeah, so far I keep saying it, but I'm enjoying it. It's nice to be out. I haven't been out in ages, haven't vlogged in ages, so it's nice to sort of get back in touch, so to speak, with you guys, get some footage out there. Just can't wait to get amongst the lovely carp in here. I was going to say earlier, I completely forgot, if any of you recognise this place, just for the sake of other members and everything like that, let's try not to mention it, so that I don't want to annoy anyone, and if someone wants to keep it a bit secret squirrel, then we'll keep it that way, in a sense. For me, I'm just going to call it the Big Res, but if you recognise it, let's just keep it under wraps for now. Right, we'll catch up with you guys in the morning, but hopefully before then with a carp. Fingers crossed. Morning, you lovely bunch. As you can probably tell, and you might be able to hear, it is raining. The water level's come up quite a bit. The net's submerged, and the anchor's about to be submerged as well. So it's been raining a fair bit. Don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it's been raining a fair bit. The reel handles are now underwater as well, which is not a problem, but I'm going to raise the back buzz bars up a little bit, just because I don't want it to get any deeper. Stay there. Don't want it to get any deeper, and actually the spools and everything submerge themselves, because they're not mag sealed reels, and the internals will go all smushy, and so basically they'll go crap. Stay still, you're not going back out, you're wet enough. Yeah, no bites, didn't see anything last night. Oh, we've had a bit of a occurrence on a left rod, a little bit of a liner, but I have a feeling that might have been a crayfish or something, just picking the rig up. But we'll see what happens. Gonna leave it a couple of hours, scan the water, because it's just got that carpy feel to it today, where you just feel like you're going to see something. So we're going to scan the water, keep looking, keep watching, hopefully see something, and if nothing happens in a couple of hours, redo the rods, stick the remainder of the bait out and sit on it and see what happens. So we'll do that. We'll keep you updated as and when, if anything happens, and we'll catch you guys in a bit. Oh, I've only forgot my boots and left them in the van, so I'm going to have to full wader up to just adjust the buzz bars up a little bit. Noddy. Yeah, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Fun times. Right, that's the rods, well, the reels, out of danger for now. Depends how long it's going to rain for. Got some brekkie on the go. Whee! Still no signs. I will crack this place, and I will figure it out. I will know, and I will catch some fish. At least that's what I'm saying to myself. Right, let's munch this food and keep watching the water. Right, whilst me ham and cheese pasty thing's cooling down, have a little chat to you about the bait. So I'm using the Atlantic Heat boilies. Pop-up wise, I've gone with the Cremino pop-ups. Some of you might think it's weird, but I've had quite a lot of success using the Cremino in conjunction with the Atlantic Heat. And obviously the Atlantic Heat's got that spicy, fishy element. The Cremino's obviously got that, well, the cream, the creamy element. And I think it just goes well, because like the fish, it gives them something totally different to home in on. So as they're like munching away at the freebies, they'll come across that and it will catch their attention, because it's so different and such a nice like sort of smell. It's done really well for me. I do have one out on the Sea Monster, because I love the smell of that, and they absolutely pong. And because it's quite silty, gotta have something that stinks out there so it overpowers the smell of the silt. So yeah, that's the baiting approach. Just some chopped boilies, whole boilies, bit of the krill powder, some hot hemp oil, and liquid fish. All just mushed together. All right, mush. Yeah, just mushed together with a bit of lake water, just to make it a bit sloppy, so when it hits the water you got a nice cloud. And also with the crays in here, I don't want too many whole big baits. I want loads of bitty bits, as I usually say. So if they do grab something, there is a good chance of something to be left over. I always found as well on waters with crayfishing, I like to borderline overbait, especially with the hit here. You've got the birds that seem to like diving, and the cray, so you've got to take that into conjunction. If you're thinking of putting like a kilo out over each rod, then in my personal opinion, it might be different for other people, but I think it's a waste of time, especially somewhere this big as well. You take all that into consideration, by the time the fish find you, you might even just be fishing singles, especially if you're just putting boilie out. I mean, a kilo of like particle and chopped boilies, okay, but you think like if you put out say 5 kilo or like 2-3 kilo over each rod, if half of that goes, you've got a kilo and a half left. So that's just my thought process over it. Rather have a bit of grub there, so if a group of fish or even a single fish come along, there's a bit of grub there to keep them occupied until they find the hook bait. I think so. I mean, it's quite difficult. I was going to say, so far I think it's a case of locating a fish and just getting on them, but at the moment with the COVID thing, you have to book in whereabouts you want to go. Yeah, you can walk around and change it, but then you've got to walk and leave your gear, and also you've got to try and avoid other people's fishing. It's a bit difficult at the minute, so as soon as this COVID-19 nonsense clears and you can sort of walk around the lake and just pitch up anywhere, I think it's going to be quite difficult. I mean, it's going to be difficult anyway. I mean, the whole time I've been here, so 2 nights now, I've scanned the water and I've barely seen anything in terms of shows or something to go on and think, yeah, that's it, I'll put a rig there. Don't know whether it's the weather, and obviously this is the first session here, so I'm probably overthinking quite a lot. You know, I'll probably leave and they'll start showing like crazy. Just my luck. Good to be out though. Right, let's munch this breakfast and crack on. Just checking in, it is still raining. It's been non-stop. You'd think, yeah, it's calming down a bit, it'll calm down, and then bang, it just goes mega heavy. But yeah, it's adding a bit of depth to the water. It's even further back now than what it was before. Making use of the anchor. It's a nice little net station. Proper carpy. But yeah, the spot's slicked up a few times, but if I'm honest, I think that is the craze. So yeah, it's been a bit dead. I don't expect anything. Got tonight, and then be leaving here probably. Well, I've got to be out of the swim before midday, so I'll probably start packing away about 10:30, 11. It's meant to be a break in the rain at 3 o'clock. It's now, what time is it? 2. So as soon as that break in the rain pops along, we'll zip all the rods in, fresh hook baits for the last night, rest of the bait out, see what happens. I've tied up some of my If you've been watching the vlogs for a while, I used to fish like a doubled over hinge stiff rig. I've tied up some of those, but I've added a couple of new school twists. So I've got, that's the new ESP weighted thingy-majoggy. Made it quite long, got to straighten it out and saw all this bit out. That's literally just tied it and threw it down. I've got a, well, you don't need to steam it with the materials, but I've just got to straighten it out. Whack a pop up on there, test it in the margins or in my bucket, see how it looks, and then yeah, switch over to that. So I think I am fishing hinge stiff rigs and one on a choddy, and I think this single material, especially when I'm whacking it out, I think it's got a tendency to straighten out, and with the doubled over material there's no way that's straightening out. The only time it will straighten out is when you have a fish. Sorry, I'm chewing gum. So yeah, got a good chance if a cray does pick up the rig, it's not going to straighten the choddy part out either. So it's another reason why I'm going to, and birds as well, if a bird picks it up it could straighten it out. So with a doubled over, I know if something picks it up it's not going to straighten it out. The only time it literally, I was using it for years and I come away from it because I just got involved in the old, yeah, low line pop-ups, Ronnie rigs and all that. Don't get me wrong, I've caught so many fish with Ronnie or like a low line pop-up setup, but I kind of miss using my doubled over hinge setup, and it just works so well. Works so well. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a bash on this lake and see if it slips up any fish. Got a bit of slicking coming up. I'm not sure if you can see it just over here. That's from the far left side of the spot. Like I said, there's bream, tench and that in here, so it could be anything. Fun times. We'll catch up with you guys in a bit, hopefully when it stops bloody raining. Quick update. We've just done the rods, fresh hook baits, all out on the spots, lovely. The rest of the baits out. Whilst I was wading out, he decided it'd be a great idea to come with me, so Bear's had a swim. Pain in the bum. I hope I've brung the towel because it's going to be a nightmare otherwise. Yeah, I'd like to say it's looking good, but I haven't got a clue. It is what it is. We shall see what happens. We'll keep you updated if anything does happen, and we'll see you in a bit. Now look who's turned up for free dinner. Hopefully they don't find the spot. They're heading right for it. Joy. Speaking of dinner, ooh, some red Leicester cheese pork sausages. Getting my belly. Obviously they're nowhere near done yet. Don't want to eat them like that. Rather not have the squirts. Weather's a lot better though. Lovely jubbly. There were some lads in a boat which have now gone. No life jackets on, and I don't know if they're other anglers or whatever, but they were like right above the spotlight, and all I heard was, oh look, there's some fishing bait, and then they just sat there for like 5-10 minutes, and I thought, oh, I wish I had a bloody rifle. How annoying. Right, I'm going to concentrate on these. See you guys in a bit. This will probably be the last update before the morning when we're packing up. Wind's picked up quite a bit now. It does look like it's going to start raining again. Rods are out on the dance floor, so to speak. Let's see if we can nick one. Fingers crossed. We'll come straight back to you if anything else happens. I'm going to chill, enjoy the rest of the evening, and pray to Carp Jesus for a fish. Catch you in the morning. Well guys, that only means one thing surely. Left hand rod absolute went into meltdown. Took me all over the place. I was wondering what the heck is this, because I know there's cats in it, so I was thinking This might be a cat, and no, it's a common. It's not massive by any means at all, but that does not matter, because on my first session on the res, I've bagged one, so albeit at the last morning, but it still counts. Alright, we'll catch you in a minute with it on the mat. To get one on the first session, let alone the last morning, I'm made up. As you can agree, it's a little cracker. Buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Doesn't matter how big they are, especially when it's out of a lake like this. Let's have a look at the other side. Chuffed. Right, let's get this little man back, and fingers crossed for his dad. Buzzing. That's all I have to say about that. I wasn't expecting to catch at all, and catching on the first session. Happy days! But yeah, was not expecting to catch, and first fish on new rods since the last time I saw you guys. I've bought some Infinities. First take on the new alarms, first fish with the new reels, and first fish from the new water, so it's all new. Oh, I'm chuffed. Tired though. I didn't go to sleep till late, and obviously I'm up early because of that fish. It was about 6 o'clock. Had the bite. Don't know what time it is now. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's going to be raining for the next hour and a half, so I might actually get my head down for a bit, and then once the rain clears, start packing up and make the journey home. And then it's editing and getting this live. Obviously you guys will see it straight, it will be straight away for you guys, not obviously the painstaking process of going through and watching yourself and piecing it all together. Oh, buzzing to have one from this lake on the first session. Happy boy. Look at the state of me as though. Need to get home, have a shower, shave, clean. Oh, and first fish with the new clothing. Look at the state of it. Sorry guys. Got fish slime, dog hair. Probably after my dinner somewhere. Oh. Right, we'll catch you guys in a bit. Oh, typical. I've only just repaired the other side. I'm just going to get 3 of these puncture-proof ones. Oh, what a mess. Something had to go wrong, didn't it? Fun. Right everyone, that is it from me. Just the one fish. Don't know if I mentioned that I had a bit of a occurrence on the middle rod. Just sprung that in, and the bait's gone, but obviously it's not from a crayfish, because where you blob the D section, that had been ripped through, so something's took it at force, obviously grabbed hold of the bait, shook it really hard, and I don't know a crayfish that would have done that, especially with a 4.5 ounce lead as well. So yeah, it's probably been done by that, but maybe a catfish or something chewed the bait off or something. But yeah, that is it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you thought of the video, if there's anything you want to see on the next one. I'll leave my previous video up here and a subscribe button in the middle for you guys. But yeah, I look forward to the next one, and we'll see you soon.